In late summer 2025, as farmers prepare for what should have been a record corn harvest, anxiety overshadows any celebration. The golden fields, usually a symbol of prosperity, now seem to foreshadow uncertainty. Farmers who have invested months of hard work and hope are left wondering if their efforts will pay off at all. The shock comes swiftly. China, once the largest buyer of American crops, has imposed a staggering 100% tariff on key U.S. agricultural exports, abruptly closing off a vital market overnight. The news spreads like wildfire, leaving farmers and exporters scrambling for answers. The Midwest feels the impact immediately. Prices for corn and soybeans plummet, and farm finances spiral into crisis. Bankers and co-ops brace for defaults, while families pore over spreadsheets, trying to make sense of the numbers. The sense of security that once defined rural life is suddenly gone. With China gone, mountains of unsold soybeans and corn pile up in silos and warehouses, sending prices into a freefall. Storage facilities fill to capacity, and the market is flooded with crops no one seems to want. For many farms, the numbers no longer add up, pushing them deep into the red. By late August, Chinese buyers have made zero purchases from the U.S. soybean crop, a stark and painful contrast to previous years, when their visits were a sign of hope and partnership. Now, empty shipping containers and barren fields tell a different story, one of lost opportunity and growing desperation. Brazil and other competitors move quickly to fill the void, rerouting global trade flows and capturing markets that once belonged to American farmers. Ships bearing foreign flags now carry the harvest that used to leave from U.S. ports, shifting the balance of agricultural power. At farm shows and community gatherings, optimism is replaced by worried whispers and tense conversations. Farmers share stories of mounting bills and uncertain futures. This is a man-made crisis, not just another bad season, one that threatens the very fabric of rural America. The question now looms large. Can America's farming way of life survive such a sudden, seismic economic shock? As families gather around kitchen tables and main streets grow quieter, the future of the heartland hangs in the balance, waiting for answers that may not come soon. To understand the depth of the current crisis facing American agriculture, it's essential to look at the global forces at play, especially the powerful influence of China. For years, China has been at the heart of U.S. agricultural exports, acting as a driving force behind what American farmers grow and sell. Decades of booming demand for animal feed made China the single largest buyer of American soybeans, purchasing nearly a quarter of the entire U.S. crop every year. This wasn't just a business transaction, it was a lifeline for countless rural communities. The steady flow of exports to China brought billions of dollars in revenue, helping to stabilize farm incomes, boost land values, and support the prosperity of small towns across the Midwest and beyond. But China's appetite didn't stop at soybeans. The country also became a major buyer of U.S. corn, pork, and sorghum, providing crucial markets for a wide range of American agricultural products and helping to diversify farm income streams. The sudden loss of this massive export market is more than just a setback for one crop or one region. It's a systemic shock that ripples through the entire agricultural economy, affecting everything from equipment sales to rural employment. For years, American farmers tracked Chinese buying patterns as closely as they watched the weather, knowing that a single purchase order from China could make or break a season. Now that vital connection has been abruptly severed. With a 100% tariff in place, U.S. agricultural products have become uncompetitive overnight, and China is turning to other countries to meet its needs, leaving American goods stranded and unsold. The result? American farmers are left with overflowing grain bins, mounting financial pressure, and the loss of a customer that once seemed indispensable. The financial fallout has been swift and severe, sending shockwaves through farming communities across the country. What began as a trade dispute has quickly spiraled into a full-blown crisis, leaving families and entire towns reeling from the consequences. With China gone from the market, American farmers are left with mountains of unsold crops. A glut of soybeans and corn now floods the market, driving prices down by as much as 50%. The abundance that once signaled prosperity has become a symbol of hardship, as storage facilities overflow and fields are left unharvested. Many farmers now lose money on every bushel they harvest, profit margins have evaporated, and the cost of production often exceeds what they can earn. For some, years of careful planning and hard work have unraveled almost overnight, replaced by mounting bills and growing uncertainty. Bank surveys show plummeting farm incomes, shrinking cash reserves, and rising loan defaults. The financial strain is evident in every corner of rural America, as families struggle to keep up with payments and meet basic needs. Lenders, wary of the growing risks, are tightening credit. This makes it even harder for farmers to secure the financing they desperately need to plant next year's crop or invest in equipment repairs. The cycle of debt deepens, and options grow fewer. Some face impossible choices, selling off land that's been in the family for generations, taking on more debt with no clear way out, or leaving farming altogether. The emotional toll is immense, as families grapple with the loss of their livelihoods and their way of life. The dream of passing down the family farm is replaced by fears of foreclosure and the heartbreak of watching a legacy slip away. For many, the farm is more than a business. It's a heritage, a home, and a source of pride. The crisis is hollowing out the economic core of rural America. Main streets grow quiet as businesses close, and the ripple effects are felt in every local store, school, and community gathering place. For many, survival is no longer guaranteed. The uncertainty of tomorrow hangs heavy in the air, as families wonder if they can weather another season or if this chapter of their lives is coming to an end. The pain radiates far beyond the farm, as farmers cut spending, equipment dealers, seed suppliers, and local businesses all feel the pinch. Machinery sales have collapsed and suppliers are laying off workers. Main streets in small towns see fewer customers, shuttered shops, and fading community spirit. The downturn ripples through every sector: restaurants, mechanics, even schools and hospitals. Job losses mount, and young people leave in search of opportunity, accelerating rural decline. Local tax bases shrink, threatening essential services. What began as a distant trade dispute now threatens the survival of entire communities. The fate of the farm and the town are inseparable. As the crisis deepens, farm groups and lawmakers scramble for solutions. The American Soybean Association lobbies for a new trade deal with China, while others push to boost domestic demand. Ethanol is a key focus. Expanding E15 fuel could help absorb the corn surplus. In July 2025, President Trump signs the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, allocating $66 billion for farm support. Most of the funds go to safety net programs offering a lifeline to struggling farmers. Yet, many say it's not enough to cover mounting losses. The administration considers more direct aid, echoing past trade war relief. Emergency measures may stave off collapse, but the crisis's depth is clear. With China out, the U.S. scrambles to find new buyers. No single market can replace China, so the strategy is diversification, targeting Southeast Asia, the EU, and beyond. Trade missions and events like Soy connects court buyers from dozens of countries. Investments in ports and infrastructure aim to make U.S. exports more competitive. Domestically, expanding ethanol use could absorb billions of bushels of corn. For soybeans, new uses like high oleic varieties in dairy feed show promise. These efforts are vital but slow-moving. Relief for farmers is not immediate. The search for new markets is a race against time. The crisis unfolds amid a global crop glut, intensifying the pain for U.S. farmers. Record U.S. harvests and fierce competition from Brazil, Russia, and Ukraine keep prices low worldwide. Even if new markets are found, oversupply means buyers have the upper hand. Many U.S. farms face unsustainable prices and high costs, with survival hinging on government aid. Long-term recovery will require rebalancing, shifting crops, boosting domestic demand, and diversifying exports. The lesson over reliance on one market is risky. The path forward is uncertain and will reshape American agriculture. Farmers must adapt, innovate, and become more resilient than ever. The future of America's heartland hangs in the balance.